cannot deliver the kind of downtown plan that we need that will position us to go after state economic development funds, grant funds, the kinds of funds you need to be able to develop the downtown.
And that's
We cannot do that.
That
Now, we can hire the
being
people to
lost in
do
the
it.
message is that just because we don't outsource it, the perception that we can do it in-house. We're only outsourcing it because we just don't want to do the work and we want to spend the
Oh,
money.
no.
I don't think that's the case. You spend it because you don't have the resources in place, and it doesn't make sense from an organizational perspective to maintain those sort of resources on an ongoing basis. That's why you engage in these outsourced opportunities.
Well, yeah, and if we had internal capacity, I'm sure that there's people that are on staff that would love to be able to put their name on it.
Okay, here's a question I've got. 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 80,000. Where were the bids? I mean, are we looking, I mean, what I'm saying is that, you know, we're saying 50,000, and that's a budget number, I understand, it's a maximum. But, I mean, do we know that these numbers, and I'm just asking this question as an interrogatory and not necessarily with an agenda, but do we know that these numbers are actually true representations of the cost on these items?
Well, ask the question,
Yeah,
and let's
well,
see if we got an answer.
That's the question.
Do we have an answer for that, Cheryl?
It would be inappropriate for us to get bids on this at this point, because we
sure.
wouldn't get bids on work that we don't have authority to
Undertake, yeah.
They'd still have to apply to the purchasing policies from the...
Absolutely. So what we would do is we would write a scope. We would,
Can I stop you real quick? I
Sure.
think he's wondering, how did we get to $50,000 before we get to the bidding process?
oh, because we can at least get an estimate. Plus, when we talk with our consultant that did the work for us, for the comp plan, we got a feel for what it would take. We've expanded that scope a little bit beyond what we've talked with them about, but we have a feel for what it would take to be able to get the work done. And with the 175th 35 study, I think we asked a couple of engineering firms about what it would take to do, what they would do the work for.
Okay. And,
So we got
and-
ballpark, yeah, we got ballpark estimates.
And I don't, at this point, I don't want to go back and try and rehash all this stuff.
Right.
But I am interested in the ones where we had a overwhelming majority of council at the time when we picked downtown district plan, marketing and rebranding, and then the aquatic center rehabilitation, which we'll get to in a minute. I mean, if everybody is still fine with the way that they were going to cast their vote for the downtown district plan, Cheryl will have a responsibility to let the Secretary of Transportation know, or Undersecretary know that, and they will determine whether or not they provide that $60,000 to us, based on how they see us moving forward. It's just, I mean, I'll be glad to take another quick vote if that's okay with everybody. Steve?
You can start with me, Chris. I don't like not getting the full story up front. And I didn't get the full story up front on this one. In light of this new information, I might have been tempted to vote in the affirmative. I can't change my vote. I don't think that this was, I would have liked to have had that information before I had to vote.
Can I make a statement after he voted no?
He voted no. Actually, you're going to be, I'm going this way.
Okay.
I have my name on it.
Still no.
You're still no.
Okay,
Larry?
so you had a conversation with the Department of Transportation, Kansas Department of Transportation, in January.
Secretary Mike King and Undersecretary Jeremy Younger.
Secretary, sorry. So, and as part of the budgeting process, the priorities-based budget, you didn't think that this information was important?
I think that we talked about this during council
Did
meeting.
you say that if and only if we do a downtown improvement study, we will get $60,000 towards a $75,000 cost
I-
of doing it?
No, but I'll tell
But
you
you
what,
do it in
it was,
January.
it was in late April or May.
During the budget?
This was, well, when we were going over budget initiatives, this was one of the top 3 identified
So, okay, so my.
by 4 out of 6 members of the governing body.
Okay, so again, the problem I have is
So we-
if KDOT wants to help us, and I'd love some help from KDOT, let's put an imaginary 2 lanes and block the trucks from coming down right now, and let's see if people not dodging semi-tractor trailers going 35 miles an hour through the shopping area that we want to promote, let's see if that actually improves commerce and the value of the real estate, right?
Well, I think
So,
that that's something that we
KDOT can
can-
do that today, they don't need to say to do that, but the reality is, they only wanna do that if we're ready to accept the cost of that segment of highway. And that's my problem is, I think it's disingenuous, they need to come and say, we wanna help this town, not, we wanna help the truckers, we wanna help this town, and we want to restrict truck traffic from exactly those boundaries, Waverly Road to Moonlight, so that your downtown can be vibrant again, as it once was, and people don't have to dodge those trucks. And then I'll tell you what, I might be on board with the study. But until that happens, it's,
So that's a no.
no, it's a ruse.
Okay. Fiscal stewardship, we weren't spending any money on. Facility needs study, let's just go with this quick, I think. Christie?
No.
Larry?
What was the price and what am I getting here?
45? What you're getting is there. We
So we're
discussed
doing
this
a study
before.
only on the police station?
No.
It's multiple.
It was multiple.
If I could interject here.
Yeah, please.
We got some budget numbers from some architectural firms. They'd be looking at a new law enforcement center, as well as parks and recreation and public works. And so the facility space needs study is they basically interview everyone, they look at our growth projections, they come up with a plan for a new building, how much space is needed for each one of those, law enforcement, parks, and public works. And the number 45,000 is a good number for all of that. And it's 2 phases. First phase is called a discovery phase, and second phase is basically laying out where it's gonna go and a conceptual plan for that.
Do we have any proposed area of the city that we would put these, I mean, we're certainly not doing it downtown, right?
That'd be something that, when we're working through the scope, we talk to them about the areas that we would be interested in.
Shouldn't we buy the property first, or at least have designs on what property we're gonna purchase before we do the study? And also, I guess, do we need someone to come in and say, your police station needs to be, 50 by 200 feet and needs a basement, or can we do some of that
But actually, I think we do need someone to tell us that. I mean, we look at where we are now, we look at where we are in 10 years, we look at 20 years. What do we need as far as the size of the police force, what the square footage are? There's national standards for that. And, they're looking at public parking. I can't identify, the church side as a place for that. I don't know what's needed, so.
I guess on this one, I'd be more in favor of, because I think these are all necessities. That police station,
No.
sorry, Captain, sucks. And, yeah.
I don't think he's gonna argue with
Yeah.
you.
No.
I guess, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and just, and I mean, there obviously are some space needs for other departments, so.
But Christina, I was coming to you first.
These items are on the CIP, right? I mean, the police station, we've had those identified, they're not, so they're not even funded.
No.
Yeah, are they on the CIP?
No.
I thought we had a police station, and maybe it was,
I think that was
So,
2012.
I may have to rescind my approval if we don't have a
No, they
plan.
haven't talked,
Right.
we laid it out there for 2016 and beyond.
Right.
what is it?
We haven't talked
The
about
CIP
CIP
tours?
yet.
Well, I know we haven't, but that's what I'm asking. I think
Is it in there?
Yes, is it
In the out years.
Okay, all right, so I guess my question is, and Brian, this is more to you, what, if we hire, we say, hey, listen, we're gonna do a police station, which I think we're all pretty much in agreement we are. When we hire a firm to do that through the CIP, why would this not naturally be a part of that?